Oh yeah, the next chapter is going to skip over a period of time, and a previous chapter that I was going to include some stuff that hasn't been fully finished yet, so enjoy. Narrator: the main character is in the Iraqi desert. The reason why Germany middle of the desert? Because of the War on Terror. Bush's War on Terror cost no less than a catastrophe. Why? Because relatively stable government were invaded by the US military and occupied, which several anomalies contained by local anonymous organizations to go rogue, and several of the US incompetence sliced into the containment efforts to deal agreed to shore Bush's presidency by packing of the foundation to contain an anomaly that was fighting for office. The foundation was completely blindsided when they had to deal with the small anomalies in reality benders, including the insurgent organizations that were working with the Chaos Insurgency to create an even worse crisis. All this combined to a small mess that he's been working with the White Rabbit's Lambda 5 use developed a new but unstable source of miniature reality sinks user, and causes a massive amount of power surge using his immortal bot. In power, he can use it to temporary, modify and specially powerful reality benders. He's working to find and triangulate a girl that was previously a civilian for your traumatic event, activating her powers and escape from the Chaos Insurgency, and several others groups. Currently they're at rat race to try to find the girl because she's incredibly powerful. But any experience we have been to dance that is incredibly mentally unstable. Currently the SCP Foundation and the GCE are both working together to find the reality bender and terminate her before she can do any more damage. Currently he's been awoken from my sleep because they're going to do an infiltration in a village that Anomaly is in. We're gonna give some perspective to anonymous girl. She has currently warped reality to create a fake family life within this part, and currently while she's actively ignoring it, she doesn't actually live here. She doesn't live in this village. Her family that she created isn't real. Over her actual family died and her fundamental biology has been violated by the Chaos Insurgency, messing with her genetics team, her into a weapon, super soldier. Currently she's starting to subconsciously realize people were going close to her, trapping the village, but he actively ignored the worrying deconstruction of false reality. You tried to keep her family together as long as possible to end her birthday 11 p.m. He as well as the White Rabbits closed into her location. Once they went into the building, she started to violently react with the mini version of the scratched reality anchors project prototype pinned down reality, and kept her reaction able to fully destroy them. With that he decided to tell White Rabbits to stay. Now he felt that need to talk to her. It went to something like this. I'm sorry the things that happened to you. Mother, father dead, was shot, and your brother did not survive. I cannot say that I can help you. I know God, demon, or monster, but I'm not a operated asshole that won't give a girl a hug. Stand down, and as the Foundation we might be able to do something. Her screaming, what are you going to do to help this? I'm going to die painfully. I know that, but I want my birthday. Him breathing heavily. Well, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not doing this as but idiot that is going to hug a very powerful girl. But see my mind. Here's a memory. It's going to be painful, but I know how to hug a little girl that is as sad as you. She became happy, but I want you to see the picture. Narrator: through this process, he gave them of the girl years ago. He protected before the Foundation killed her over that whole vampire situation, and not for anything important, just for Foundation politics in the situation. But they showed that he gave for the girl. This hug gave her much perspective, and she has so tired, decided to give up. She hasn't slept before 15 days running. It has been slowly enjoying her normally for the past 5 days. As the hug came in, he signaled Lambda 5 the White Rabbits to shoot. He got some bullets, but the girl definitely passed. Told him that a few more second, probably even second, and she would have destroyed those bullets and destroy the entire place. The Scranton reality anchors millisecond after she had the bullet hit her brain, but he knew she died in peace. 2 other stories of him in the Middle East, and also the chapter after this will also partly include the scars of him in the Middle East, getting a spear almost through this chest. He's able to dodge it, and opponent is a recreation of ancient battlefield against the Persian army, an anomalous kingdom. Backstory of that situation: he was just ever so calmly in one of the Middle Eastern Foundation speaking to of the researchers at the site. Secretary surprised that this said, you know the local language? Yes, I am bilingual in multiple languages. Some examples are French, Indian, Japanese, English of course. Oh yeah, and there's also about 42 under languages pretty much anywhere around the world. Write and read, speak, and interpret any language of what he knows secretly. Actually knows more individuals in the future, has been training every known language known to man, but he doesn't want to tell them in the virtual video game, because why you tell the NPC, especially if you're playing a role in the video game? Yes, so essentially, he was talking to several of the researchers in the site before a MTF told them he was ordered by a mission from the high command to bring him. He goes into a large underground structure, held by several ominous artifacts. He's here with the MTF mole rats to go into someone deeper and danger parts of the tunnel system. The roots are larger than should be. Extends once you enter miles deep. You can travel for hours and days. tunnel system is dangerous with a bunch of holes of monsters a mortal expert to dig up, so the team of MTF he travels a few days with the labyrinth travel is harsh, difficult, dangerous. What he enjoys the gun and like aesthetic of the deeper levels. They were about to leave for the upper levels of the tunnels before entering into a room. This room holds a secret treasure, because once they enter in it, they all disappear. They go into an artificial reality by this artifact digging up treasures, triggered a pocket dimension that exists and where they figure out the rules somewhat quickly, mostly through him. He mostly does a little bit of cheating through, well, if you can qualify as cheating through getting the reality and specific code of the game. The rules are as followed. They're stuck here for like 2 months. The situation is 2 players, the Persian, an anomalous kingdom. Second, there is specific role that they play in this world as a mercenary group hired by the Persians to specifically help fight against this anomalous kingdom. Third, if they die, they will be stuck here forever in constant loops of the same 2 months they must survive. Fourth, power is mostly only him, and technology, where it completely remove. They do have weapons that are anomalous which, as only human mercenaries, give them an edge. So the main character enjoyed the excursion a lot actually compared to all of the other, who were mostly depressed, tired, and sick of constantly having to fight every day defending a border city. The other enjoyment makes the other MTF soldiers kind of freaked out, including the fact that while the other empty soldiers are exhausted and winded and only take less than 10 enemies with them every day, usually their kill count around like 2 or 4. He kills hundreds of the creatures which have spiked skin incredibly high towards the pain, and the higher B command ones are incredibly strong somehow of a 100 a day. This is mostly because in actuality he's trained in every single combat style martial arts sword technique, does every single fighting style. You can imagine dumping years into virtual reality. Of course he enjoys fighting games. Essentially imagine John Wick with every single kung fu movie martial art combined. He keeps his body to the perfect muscle density, and exercise with 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, 8,000 lifts, his 600-pound weight every single muscle. His body had been torn 1 million billion trillion times, but his regeneration is so insane, and also the number of 1 million billion trillion times isn't actually true. It's just hyperbole because it will be true later in the story. But it's more closer to 1 million. But exactly get to the point, he is peak human to superhuman strength and skill. But after a week they go into the city as a couple of members are majorly injured and need to heal. But thanks to an anomalous artifact, they will heal in a day or two. The ancient non-existing city wiped out in a conflict. Much after this time it's a giant prosperous city that is almost under siege by the armies, but they're properly well supplied enough that they're able to import and have secure trading routes. This is through several mercenary and hired companies. Special anonymous individuals specifically example are their crew. They are one of dozens for 100 different organizations that were hired by the government survive the war, so they do have a simple advantage of a very anonymously durable and lightweight armor and a very powerful sword that could cut through a human like butter, though the enemies that they face is anomalously more tough than regular human. There are several other things, but let's go through the city. They have a fun time as they relax, and in a few days through the items anonymously heal enough for them to come back out in full strength. There is sent further from the lands to work with 1,000 troops. This week would be a massacre for them as 2 members would die, and a lot of the artificial reality soldiers would die too. 10,000 different beasts bearing towards them. He would do the highest kill count he had for all the other days, about over 1,000 of the MTF that got trapped in him. Official reality after this battle they play things more safe over next month. By now they have been there for a month, and 2 weeks, and another 2 weeks, and they're free. But he ends up getting dangerously close to death as honey trapped by a woman who he met with a tent find out to be an assassin, and she was an anomalous superhuman individual, almost killed. He did kill her after getting through everything. He got the body, and made to be much safer. He wanted to relax that night, but had to get the lesson of there is no breaks. Eventually they did got out. 5 members did die, though sadly they were stuck until another apocalypse. Though for him he never saw them again. The entire 2-month ordeal was only about 2 days, though Foundation did notice day at the end, cleared the entire site. Oh, and he is adventure of him going through a giant anomalous tunnel system, full of anonymous individuals, system full of 100 individuals that fight through his power to go deeper with the situation, which would break through countless different layers. First of the fire magic, then there was the magic that destroyed soul, matter and everything. That there was the empowered of monsters that he smashed to death. For the shield collectively got 15 new SCPs from the tunnel system. The most interesting part after that is the end, and they got, and now leader of a small code is helping the insurgents in activities. He escaped, though not without serious damage. A SCP that was brought acted like a consumable item and increased his movement speed 15 Mach to 90 Mach.